Hi, Deb Smith, life coach and licensed professional counselor. Today I wanted to talk about a portion of my relationship series, and the part that I wanted to talk about and focus in on today is betrayal. I think that betrayal is one of the hardest things to recover from in a relationship when that bond of trust, when that building block of trust has been destroyed. I think it's very, very difficult to recover from that. That doesn't mean that it can't happen. Of course, it can happen. But there needs to be a tremendous amount of energy coming from the person who created this. So I'm not saying that it's something that you do in isolation. I think that things happen in relationships, and we can look at why they happened, what kind of paved the way for that to happen, and there's responsibility all around. But I think the largest part of the responsibility does fall on the person who actually acted out the betrayal, who actually did whatever it is that they did. So when I'm talking about betrayal in relationships, I'm not only talking about intimacy with an affair, I'm also talking about a relationship with a parent and a child, a relationship with siblings, a relationship with coworkers or friends. There can be betrayal in any relationship. It doesn't only mean an affair. And I think that our brains go right there when we think about it. It can happen anytime, anywhere, in any relationship. And really, it pretty much, what I'm going to outline, pretty much kind of carries through in all of those situations. More so, definitely, in an affair situation, but I think you can pull out all of these other ideas and tips and resources that I'm giving you for any other betrayal as well. So let's first look at the person who experienced the pain in this situation. So it's not uncommon, whether it's a child, whether it's a partner, whether it's a coworker, a friend, any of those things. The person who has that pain, this is a traumatic event for them. They also experience then a traumatic response. Okay, that's really important to know. This is something that cuts to the heart, it cuts to the core of the foundation of the relationship. So it's going to destroy something within them, something inside of them. You can look at this and say, okay, so what can I expect? What's normal for a response, a reaction? Well, as with trauma, there's a whole list of things that can possibly happen. So people can actually experience nightmares, night terrors, day terrors. They can feel numb. They can have mood disturbances. They can have anxiety. They can have bouts of irritability, bouts of crying, bouts of actual hysteria, times where they feel like, I can't even get out of bed. I can't function. I can't believe this has happened. This is devastating. So it's a full range of emotion, a full range of response, a full range of behavioral response. It's all normal. It's a normal response to an abnormal situation because it's not normal for us to go around betraying each other. It just isn't. So don't be surprised by any of the things that come up, either in ourselves as someone who was betrayed or in ourselves as someone who betrayed the other person. Just don't be surprised by that. It's part of the process and it's part of working through this. It takes time and it can be done, as I said, but it's going to take time. So that person who has been betrayed needs to take a breath, engage in self-care, go for help. This is not something that you can do alone. Now, do I say you need to go and run and call a therapist immediately? No, I never say that. Call a friend, call a family member, someone that you trust, someone that you can share this with, whether it's a clergy person, could be a life coach, could be a therapist, could be whoever it is that you feel trust. It doesn't have to be your first go-to, though, to have to go run out and get a therapist because something happened. So this isn't a sales pitch. I just want you to know it's really important for you to have someone that you can go to share this with and not have to bear this burden alone. It's too much. It is a trauma, and we don't go through life experiencing and having traumas in isolation. We don't do that. The healing happens with the power of the group, with the power of the family, the clan, the tribe. not in isolation. So please find someone that you can trust, that you can go to, that you can share this with, that you can cry on their shoulder, that you can call in the middle of the night when there's pain, when there's suffering, because I can tell you there will be, and it's going to be difficult. So that's the first step, is find someone that you can share this with. The second thing I want you to do is to remember this is the time for you to take care of yourself. So we go back to all of the foundation. Please make sure you're eating during this process. Make sure you're sleeping. If you're having trouble sleeping, go to your practitioner, your provider, and ask for help. There's no reason to suffer through this. Make sure you're getting outside, you're getting exercise. Make sure that you're holding on to your friendships, to your family members, so that this way you have that feeling of being connected. That's really, really important. So for the person who has been victimized, for lack of a better word, I don't like to use that word because I don't like to put people into that box. There's so many other connotations that go along with that. I don't typically like to do that, but this is an assault on the heart. So yes, there is some victimization that's going on here. It's there. So for anyone who's going through this, I say you need support and you need to take care of yourself. Okay? So that's the first thing. For the person who created this problem, whether it was intentional or whether it was inadvertent, the very first thing that has to happen is you need to be sorry for what happened. Again, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Sometimes we do things and another person will perceive that we betrayed them, and that wasn't our intention at all. And we never thought that they were going to look at that situation that way. Regardless of what your intention is, if that other person is important to you, if you love them, if you care about them, you need to say you're sorry. Not, I'm sorry you feel that way. Don't dismiss them like that. You need to tell them, I am so sorry. I never meant to do that. And I'm going to do whatever I need to do to prove that to you. If it was intentional, if you knew what you were doing, but for whatever reason you dismissed that and you went ahead and you did it anyway, you need to admit that, and you need to say you are sorry, that you understand the pain you caused this other person, and you are so sorry about that. What you also need to do once you get through that, you need to shoulder the pain you caused. You need to listen to that other person. You need to hear what you've done. In couples, I tell them typically this is going to take about a year. Give or take, it's going to take about a year. That person who's been betrayed is going to need to talk about this for about a year. Now, it sounds excessive, I know, but it truly isn't. When your heart has been broken, when the core of a relationship has been destroyed, it's going to take time to rebuild that. Something that you can do in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 month, it longer can take, there could be affairs that go on longer or betrayals that go on for longer periods of time. It's going to take a lot more time for the repair work. And if you want that relationship and you love that person and you're truly sorry, then you have to make a decision to be able to bear the pain you caused, no matter what it is. So I never advocate that, it's okay if, she throws a couple punches at you. No, it's not okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you, and this is just a scenario, okay, because typically this is the direction it goes in. Not that women don't have affairs. Of course women have affairs. But typically who comes into my office is a woman who has been cheated on. She's going to need to cry about it. She's going to need to talk about it. This has caused great pain. The person who caused that pain is going to need to listen to that every day, if it takes every day. If it's once a week, if it's once a month, whenever it comes up for her, whatever triggers her. If you want this relationship, you're going to need to put in the time and the effort to listen to her, to comfort her. Don't make excuses. You can't say, because I hear this very, very often, you know what, she was so busy with her job, she didn't have time for me anymore. She was so busy with the kids, she didn't have time for me. She just had a medical procedure. It's taking her months and months to get over it. She's tired, I'm tired, I just needed a little comfort. And I go, okay, that's not an excuse, and that's not the foundation of a relationship. That's not support, that's not compassion, that's not being there for each other. That's not riding out the waves of the relationship. So if you're truly sorry, and if you want that person to understand that you're truly sorry, don't make excuses. Listen to the pain that you've created and shoulder it. Hold on to it for them. Create that safe place for them to just keep dumping it and dumping it and dumping it and dumping it until it's finally all out. Make sure you're not doing anything that's going to trigger another response. So when you take a phone call, don't go in the other room. Take that phone call in the presence of that person. You're going to trigger a whole slew of things in their head. Here we go again. Why can't they take the phone call in front of me? Why can't they write that email in front of me? Why can't they take that text, read that text now? Why are they hitting delete? All of those things. You want to be very cognizant of what you are doing, so you're not creating more pain, more mistrust. You want to start building a foundation of trust. If they need to go through your phone, let them go through your phone. If you're in this and you really want this relationship, you want this to work, whatever that person needs to happen, let it happen. Of course, within boundaries. I'm not saying, I've seen all kinds of things where someone is hurt and they put it all out on Facebook, or they put it out on some kind of social media, and they're airing all this dirty laundry. Well, I don't think that that's necessary. I understand it, but I don't think that that's necessary. And I think that then that creates another hurdle in the healing process. So I think there needs to be responsibility on both sides, but I think that the brunt of the responsibility needs to be from the person who created this, again, intentionally or unintentionally. Okay, so take a look at that. Think about betrayal. Think about the result of, what's going to happen if I do this. Hopefully you're listening to this before there is a betrayal. But if you're listening to it after there was a betrayal, please understand you can heal, you can rebuild trust, you can move through this and create a happy, healthy relationship. But you have to be able to take responsibility, full responsibility, without excuses, and move forward in a healthy way. Shoulder the pain that you've caused, no matter how long it takes. Answer questions, be open, be available, be present, be in the moment. And really, really care about the impact of your behavior, your thoughts, your words, your deeds, all of those things on the person that you truly love. Show them how much you love them, how sorry you are, and that you're willing to do anything. It doesn't matter. You're willing to do anything to repair this. That's planting the first seed of rebuilding trust. For more information on this, please visit my website. Give me a call. If you need help with this, I would love to be able to help you through this process. I know it's not easy, but I'm positive with the right intention, you can work through this. One last thing I just wanted to add, for the person who has been betrayed, it's very important to know that through this process, you might decide, I don't want to do this. It might be the second or third time this has happened. And you might say to yourself, you know what, I don't want to do this again. I will say to you, it is very important for you to be able to learn how to forgive that person that hurt you. Because if you don't, you're carrying that burden, that pain with you. Now, when I say forgive, I don't mean condone. And I definitely don't mean to continue that you should be continuing with a relationship, because forgiveness does not imply a relationship. It doesn't. It simply means I'm no longer carrying this pain with me. I'm done. I forgive you. You're free to move on. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm simply not doing it anymore. So that is an option. Leaving is an option. Terminating the relationship, ending the relationship, that's an option. But there's a healthy way to do that as well. So again, for more information about that, about forgiveness, please visit my website. And I wish you well. I wish you all much love, much happiness, and healthy relationships. Take care.